days, or what?
OK, let's throw it open to you. At what point is someone too drunk to consent to sex? Amy?
OK, let's start with Jane first on line 2, then.
Jane, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. So, your thoughts, please, Jane.
Well, I have actually been raped, and it was 20 years ago when I was 18, and I was out drinking with friends, and my drink was spiked with liquid acid, and I remember the journey home, and obviously was unconscious from that point, and I was raped. And I feel, and in the same respect, I've also worked with a young man who was accused of rape, and for 18 months his life was made hell. Yeah. And on the day of the court case, she denied everything while she sat there in the jury box, and so lives can be destroyed by it. And I think it's a very, very difficult area, because as someone who's been raped, there are degrees of rape, and the most obvious is being raped through violence, aggression, and force. And that's very clear-cut, especially when there's physical evidence. But I think as women, you have to take responsibility. You can't. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm pregnant," but never having bothered to provide or take contraception. Yes. It's too easy for us. We live in a society where it's very easy to blame everybody else. We don't seem to be wanting to take responsibility for our own actions. And, you know, I'd like to say I've been, like Lowry, in a position where I have been a bit tipsy and taken, this is a long time ago, after I'd been raped, about 6 years afterwards, taking somebody home and been in a position where it wasn't on the cards in my head, but have gone upstairs and they've been buck naked in my bed, and I've had to think quickly, because it's a situation I had to get myself out of. Yeah. And I luckily did, by picking up all his clothes and his wallet and chucking them out the window.
Good move.
But the fact of the matter is, it's unforgivable for women to wake up. I don't think alcohol or drugs is an excuse. And it's, you know, you have to accept the consequences of your actions that led you down that path in the first place.
Jane, just so I'm clear on this, you are saying that if a woman, because then we move into this difficult area here, which is that if a woman consumes alcohol, then it puts that she's effectively putting herself at risk.
She's effectively putting herself at risk, but it's not probably the first time she's got in that state. And it's probably not the first time that degrees of drunkenness that have led to sex. And I think, you know, as women, we wake up and the social consequences of having one night stands, of getting drunk, of doing things that normally you wouldn't do if you were fully compos mentis. There's no excuse to turn around and point the finger. You just have to really bite that bullet, I think, and accept that that's a learning curve for you, that you don't get in that situation if you don't like how it makes you feel the next day.
OK. Strong words, but coming from someone who has been through what you've come through, I ain't going to argue with them, Jane. Thank you. Is there another?
We've got Amber from Hertfordshire on line 4.
Amber, good morning.
Hello there.
So what do we think, Amber?
I'm inclined to agree with the last caller, to be honest, although maybe not quite as strongly. I do think women have to take responsibility for their actions and not really get in a state where they're that leathered that they just don't know what they're doing. Because they put themselves at risk, don't they? I mean, I've been in a situation where I've been absolutely wasted, but, you know, I still have enough common sense not to go home with a random guy, you know, and also I think that guys have to take a lot of responsibility themselves, not to put themselves in a situation where they could be accused.
I have seen in a condom machine, in a gents' loo in a pub, stickers on the condom machine saying, make sure you have the lady's consent before you have sex. So, I mean, there is a move to bring men's attention to this, which is no bad thing. I'm interested, Amber, though, I mean, if a guy is as sozzled as the girl, then he ain't going to be looking after her interests, is he?
Well, no, true, but then I suppose he's got to accept that he's put himself in a position where he could be accused of rape the next day.
Well said. Well said. Well said.
The worst thing that could happen would be a conversation like this, making a woman who feels she's been raped scared of reporting it. And I really worry that these kind of conversations drive some women into thinking, oh, no, I will be blamed and not coming forward. It's just because not enough women do.
Balance that out with the fact that I do think it is fundamentally unfair that a man who is accused of rape should have his picture all over the papers. And then, you know, the mud sticks. Why do we have to see? Why can't it...
Well, no, I agree, but I actually think the papers should take some responsibility, because there are thousands of cases going before the Beak in thousands of towns up and down the country. For some reason, that one's been selected because it's got salacious details. The result isn't in. They should wait until the results are in before they're in reporting it. It's their choice to put it in the papers, and they shouldn't have done it.
Good point. OK. After the ads, thank you, by the way, Amber. Great calls. After the ads, we're asking if twins share some sort of telepathic connection, which is something most scientists will tell you they don't. But I reckon some of you watching will disagree. Mind you, some of you probably think Elvis is alive and rocking on the moon, so I don't know what that means. Anyway, we've got more than one twin on the panel today and plenty watching at home to tell us, do twins share a psychic bond? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts, psychic or otherwise, and we'll hear as many as we can after the ads. Don't go away.
What percentage of identical twins claim to be telepathic? Is it 20, 40 or 60? Find out the answer after the ads.